Gonna make a review video of myself. This is the $4 knockout MTT that I played recently. Unfortunately, I didn't win, got second, but nevertheless, I think it's a fun one to go through. I think received many inquiries about how performance, and I think on bounties and why you're gonna alter my decision in there. And overall, I think the field here is pretty big. I think it's about 4,000, 5,000 people. So I'm gonna take a lot more risks compared to 45s and 180s. And yeah, I'm just gonna go through, and there are some spots where I play differently due to the bounties, but it's more later stage. I think at first, at early stage or mid stage, I think I play pretty normal. Until the bounty is somewhat significant, I will say when it's about five to above at least 5 buy-ins, then it's somewhat significant. And that's the points that you probably want to take more risks. But until I would say like final 2 table stage, or unless the bounty is super big, say it's like, I don't know, 20 buy-ins. Otherwise, you shouldn't risk your stack too much. Otherwise, it's going to limit your future opportunity. I think the more obvious reason, obvious spot is where if you're going to take a 5 big blind risks, and it's going to change from your, say you have a stack, you can check raise and you can double barrel. But it's going to, if you lose, you can change the stack to push fold stack. Then it's not worth it because it's just gonna limit your future plays by too much. But anyway, gonna go ahead and get started. I think at the early stage, pretty quickly. I think a limp part. If I want to play tricky, I think I can dunk here. I mean, the limp part is just not gonna have a lot of king X and jack X. So I think betting here is fine, but it's small parts, whatever. So just gonna go. Okay, this is 5 suited. Like early stage, I think I just play really normal. I sometimes play really tight, to be honest. Depends on my grinding condition and how many tables I had. I think racing here to 100 is fine. I think limping is okay. I think I prefer a race to 120, 100. Much better than limping. I think I prefer heads up parts much better than a multi-way part. So I think folding is just lazy, but it's whatever. Let's see if I defend this. So checking here is fine. I think this is the board that's probably just going to be check fold. So check racing doesn't count much because a lot of draws will still call your check races, and I'm not ripping much anyway. So folding. But I'm playing like 1 table. I think it's totally fine here to just raise to 19 ISO and then play post flop against him. But yeah, this queen jack is like, from what I look now, it's definitely a race. I mean, not racing here is, I would say, a mistake, but it's not a huge one. If you are playing many tables, if you are playing 1 table, I would say it's a big mistake. I even wonder if I'm sitting now. It's interesting. Okay, so I'm not sitting now. So I got a lot of callers here, and especially this guy has been playing, I think, VP about 50-ish. So unfortunately, sometimes I run to an 8, but it's not very frequent. A lot of times, if he has an 8, he's going to have a lot of 5x as well. And some overcards like queen 10, queen 9, whatever. So it's a spot that we just sometimes we get coolered, but sometimes you just have to get in. So he calls. Yeah, sometimes I'm worried he has an 8, but we'll see. He has been pretty loose, so I won't be surprised to hear stuff like king 5 or queen 5. So queen 5, that's good. And I think you can have stuff like queen 9, queen 10 as well, with queen of diamonds or 10 of diamond or whatever. So I'll check and see how it goes. Most likely I'm not folding anyway, so I try to force him to ship his stuff like king 10, percent, and ace 9, ace 10. I think betting is okay. I think check call is fine too. So I knock out one player. But the bounty here is so. Unfortunately, the bounty didn't show replay, but I think some kind of memory on who is picking bounty and who's not at later stage. I think checking is fine. I think raising is okay. I prefer to check with 10-6 suited. It's just not that strong enough hand. Even though I'm not repping much ace here, I think it's still very beatable. And fold out all queen X and king X. And all equity shares like 5-7 or whatever. I'll complete here. Okay, so I was playing at least 30 tables in a moment, but whatever. I'll complete here almost 90%. And now I saw here quite a bit. I won't be getting too much about early stage while I play tights, just because I don't think early stage this tournament means much unless I'm getting to final 100 plays or at least somewhat significant. Otherwise, I'm not gonna pay too much attention to this. Like, it's just not gonna increase a lot of efficiency to my overall grinding stuff. So I would say not raising here is a pretty big mistake. But it's I know it's a mistake, but I'll check here, and I'll check a lot of my ace X anyway. I'll bet 2 pairs and ace king above, and I think it's fine to mix queen jack to my checking range and see how it goes on with 3 pairs behind me, and see how they play. And ace is good cards. We remove a lot of this ace X combo, limits the ace X combo. So I think checking is again is fine, but like with stuff like queen jack, I think I prefer value bets from queen 10 and queen 9 and 7x, and sometimes stuff like pocket 8s and pocket 9s. I think check here and bet reverse okay too. With small bets like this, I think I'll value raise. I don't take a call. But I think calling is sometimes okay, being the reason of that queen 9, queen 10 will definitely call behind me, and like pocket 8s and pocket 5s and pocket 6s sometimes might even call, and stuff like king 4 will call, and 8-7, 9-7 will call. So that's sometimes probably good. I don't know. If I raise here, I think he's most certainly gonna fold. It's stuff like 8-7 or 5-4. So I think calling is fine too, for weird reason. This play is just really weak on my side, and leave myself very exploitable. I mean, he's ripping like pocket 4 only, and I don't know, maybe ace 7. Like, he's ripping a super strong hand. Because if he didn't bet the turn with ace X, I think that's just not good. Like, if he didn't bet turn with that ace 9, ace 8, that's a strange play because he sort of to protect his hands and value bet from queen X. So it's gonna make my head. I mean, you can raise this with any 2, but I don't think in low stack a lot of people are not capable, but a lot of people make a play like that very much. But it's a play, and if he's raising any 2, I should, when I'm playing like 5,000 player entrance field, just allow randoms and allow player with different skill level. It's a spot that I usually just take the safer route and I'm not gonna make a lot of assumption that he's gonna raise it into here, even though it's a good player, and because our hand looks so transparent to them. But I'm just gonna assume he's gonna abuse that. But if I have any notes on him, or if I have a decent amount of hands on him, I will make the call. If not, I'll just assume he's a complete random. He might be a good player, but I don't do like shark scope, cards or whatever. I just use all the major cards. So if I didn't run to him, I'll just assume he's not a regular. So I'll say it's a pretty weak play on my part. This side lanes, I think racing is okay, checking is fine. I think checking is okay. I don't think I need a lot of possession. I think this checking is for balancing purposes, but I don't think against random balance is important at all. So I think checking is more geared toward I want to get more value on the future streets, and it's more like a trap. Yeah, more like a trap, I guess. So I'll definitely value bet here and protect my hands, so I didn't get more value. That's fine. So it's gonna go quickly with antis kicks in. Hopefully my VPIP gonna rise a bit. Ace queen. I think calling here is fine. Yeah, I think I should definitely call here. I don't know. Like, this is the spot I don't like to call because I don't think. Yeah, I think calling here is fine. But the thing is, if his range is tighter here, the variance is big. Even though it's plus EV, say it's plus EV, but once he tighten out his range from 10% to 8%, the variance get quite huge. So with small rate of change, small change of his parts is going to increase a lot of variance to my part. So it's something that I have been trying to avoid. I think calling is fine because I think he's shoving now, more than 10% maybe. But the thing to be aware is if he's changing his shoving range slightly, it's gonna increase my variance quite a bit on my side. Even though EV is pretty much the same, but it's just gonna increase a lot of variance on my parts. Just because it's the spot that if I lose here, it's not gonna change my stack into too much of push fold. It's just not gonna change my play very much. It's just not gonna damage my stack where I have to force to play a completely different style. So this is a part that I like to take a risk if his bounty is significant. I'll say if he has 4 buy-ins, I'll definitely call. 3 buy-ins, I'll probably call. But if he has 0 bounties on his side, then I'll probably just fold. So this is the spot that I'll check out how much bounties he has and change my play there. I've been playing so weak tides at the moment. So I'll be doing quite a bit of 3-bet bluff here. So I want to mix in Ice King to my 3-betting range here. And he calls, which is weird. And I don't think I'll fall down 6, 6, 7. I don't think it's allowed 7 and 6. Unfortunately, he has some kind of pairs like deuces and threes, and he's not folding. But at the same time, he's not folding stuff like ace, queen, ace, jack anyway. And I have tons of equity against deuces and threes anyway. So, yeah, the reason I don't like to back half parts is I want to fold that equity share. I don't want him to call with stuff like, I think betting half part is okay, or betting 1/3 part is okay. I think both play are fine. I think shoving is probably easiest. But I think if I don't want to get too complicated to my game, I think shoving is simplest. But if I have more branch to my betting sizing, then I think bet 700 to sort of balance in my range where I can bet fold with stuff like Queen 8, then that's fine too. Like, I can bet 700 Queen 8 and 4 to each shove, and I can bet 700 Ace King and call each shove. But I don't want to get too complicated to my betting size there. Because it's another balancing issue, but I don't think balancing is important to a large field. To a large field anyway. So I'm not gonna try too hard to balance my range. So got table moved and everything seems standard at the moment, unless I don't know. I'm just very tight at the moment. So this is obviously a call. Hopefully it's like Ace King versus Queens. And I'm just surprised. I think this is just the evidence of over-adjusting bounties, I think. I don't know. I think S3 suited shove is pretty bad. It's just not worth it. With his stack like that, he's better off to pick up much better spot than shoving S3 suited there. And I think the 6-7 call is just so weird. Unless he has, I don't know, 20 buying of bounty at the moment. Even if he has 20 buying of bounties at the moment, I think it's somewhat light. So, yeah, I think this guy probably over-adjusts much. Nevertheless, however, I get the big stack. So this guy is inside a Maniac, but it doesn't mean I want to 3-bet here because he might 4-bet me pretty light because he's Maniac. So spot that or try to get away and see if I can get a better spot against him. Like the only good play here I think is 3-bet to, I don't know, 18 or 1500 or 1800. I think that's fine and try to play both sides. I think that's a good play. But if I'm doing play like that, I'd rather play in position. So here I think 3-betting here is fine. But 10-7 just sucks. I'd rather have a slightly value hand. So I call here because losing 2K doesn't affect my stack at all. And I think he has some kind of bounty on his side. Say he has something like 3 buys, 4 buys. I think it's worth to pick up. So it's spot that I'll take some gamble here. But if he has no bounties, I'm holding sometimes. I'll say 80% of the times. Depends on what kind of player he is. But if he has bounties, it depends on how much he had. He has like 3 buys, going to increase to, I'm calling 70% to 80% if he has 4 buys, and calling 90% if he has 5 buys, and calling 100%. Something like that. After 40, that sucks. Yeah. That's fine. So this side call, let's see if he's playing crazy again. So stand the call. I think unless the under the gun is really tight, I am usually defending this just because of the odds. But since he's playing under the gun, I think his range just dominates deuce too much. Whereas with his stack, it's somewhat difficult to play out of his use. So I think folding here is fine too. I'm much rather to have stuff like 5-4 suited here, for sure. Again, I think isolating here against a weak play is totally fine to 1,000 or 1,200. It's fine. Unfortunately, I'm playing very tight at the moment. I don't think it's still significant. I think it's somewhat significant when it's down to like 100 players, or the field is down to like, I don't know, 5% or less. Then it's somewhat significant. Even in the money, it doesn't mean anything. Especially in these bounty tournaments where people are sharing all the money around already with the bounties. So I will consider the final two tables somewhat significant. Other than that, I think it's not important. This is definitely ISO, and this guy or this guy. I think it carries somewhat important bounties, so I don't much take risk here. I think I'll even call stuff like King, Queen, and Ace 5 just because of the bounties. I somewhat changed my stack from a double barrel stack to the only single street stack. Like I can play bet flop and bet turn with my stack here, but if I lose here, it's gonna change that I can only bet flop. And the turn bet will be a shove, which sucks. So it's somewhat important. Yeah, it's a decision where I have to look his bounties much more than his actually hand range or EV. So yeah, 4-7. Luckily I win. So second, and this is a really good flop. And I might get check raise sometimes on the bluff, like ace hearts, certain clubs, stuff like that. And I think I'll get check raised by a lot worse queen jack, queen 10. So that will be good. I think I prefer a slightly bigger size, like 1900. But it's fine. Not worried too much about net flush. On turn. I think queen is a really good card. It's lower my chance that I have a queen X, and he's probably gonna shipping with stuff like pocket 9s and pocket 8 with 9 of hearts or 8 of hearts, or stuff like ace 10 with ace of hearts, like he has some kind of backdooring PO1s on the board, like base. So that'll be good. I'm betting 4,000-ish, and hopefully he shoves. Sometimes I'll run to flush, but whatever, it's really small portion of his range. I prefer slightly bigger, but it's fine. I mean, 4,000 and 3,700 is not much difference. And we need to call this. I think he's just going to have a lot worse queen and pocket 9s and backdoor stuff a lot. Yeah, and unfortunately, sometimes I'll run to like flushes, but not often. I think this is cool spot to 3-bets, depending on this guy's opening range. If I have no stats on him, I think folding is fine. And I think 3-betting is fine, depending on the playing style. If I have like complete 0 stats on him, first I'll prefer to fold because he has many reshuffling stack behind him and he's raising to a stack he's sort of coming to. So I'll assume his range is somewhat tighter than usual. But I think 3-betting is fine too. It's a fine play. And obviously I was talking about 3-betting for like raising to 2,800 and 4-bets or play post on this way. And if I play post flop, say if I 3-bet to 3,000 or 2,800, and he calls, and the flop will be this, and this is the flop that, let me see, this 8. I think it's worth a stab, and I think it's a flop that I'll probably prefer to check raise. For flops like this, I'll prefer to check raise. But it's higher variance routes. So, finally, I'm picking up the VPIP, hopefully. And gut shots, I have no showdown value, so it's obviously a bet. And I'll be barreling a lot. I will be barreling with a club, a queen, a king, and ace. And perhaps a 10. But he dunks out. It'll be annoying. Like, I can rest here, but I'm not sure about his dunking range here. It's really difficult for me to improve on the turn. Like, there's just so few turns I can barrel again if he decides to call my raise. Like, if I raise here, if it takes a king, I cannot replicate. sucks. And if the turn, I mean, there's just really not a lot of things that I can play around with. Yeah, but even though I cannot ref a king, I can put pressure on him. So, but the thing is, I have like no clubs. If I have a club, I will much rather. I much prefer to raise, I think. This is obvious shove and try to pick out bounties, and if I lose this 4,000, it's not significant anyway. Then not gonna change my stack size to a completely different strategy stack size. Ace king, no action, so we'll go really fast and try to pick out the pace. 10-5 through see if I defend. If ordered to me, I'll definitely defend with suited stuff. So this is raise and hopefully he shoves back to me. He just calls. I think checking here is fine. I think betting here for balancing purposes is fine too. But most of my range will be checking here. Like if it's stuff like ace 5, I'm not gonna take a stab. If it's stuff like king 9, I'm not gonna take a stab. I'll much prefer to check. If I have like 10 jack, I'll check. So I prefer ace queen to me in my checking range. I don't like the bets, but it's whatever. So yeah, I like the ace queen to my checking range for sure. Like I have a lot of checking range here, so I want to have a strong hand like as ace queen to my checking range, and ace queen is so strong, especially at face of diamonds. Betting is nothing wrong, and I think shoving is not so good. I don't think it's allow ace x. I think like the best hand he can have is ace jack, and since I have ace diamond, he just don't have allow ace x because he have blocked all the backdoor diamonds, ace x diamonds. Like he has no ace x diamonds. No, like if he doesn't have ace diamonds, he don't have a lot of backdoors in his range. So I think he can sometimes like king 10, which is annoying. Best hand he can have is hopefully like ace deuce and ace jack. Maybe 10-9. But sometimes I want to king 10 quite a bit. For some reason he didn't shove flop. And so I think I prefer check here and making bets. And he bets so small, which is annoying. If I have to shove here. Hopefully he has ace jack or ace deuce. Or queen jack, occasionally slow play queen jack. Then hopefully he doesn't have king 10. Well, that's good as well. So I think checking the turn is better play. I think checking flop is a way better play than betting for balancing purposes and future value purposes. And I think checking the turn will be better as well. I think Jack 3 suited, if I didn't raise here, I don't think the reason is because the bounty is on button and deep blind is not worth it for me to raise call. Meaning that their bounties, it's a really low bounties where I'm not going to take a risk. If these two guys have bounty that's somewhat significant, I'll say like 5 buy-ins. Then I'll raise and hopefully they shove and call. I'll call them off. But if they have lower than like 5 bounties, then I'm not going to change my plan here. Which is originally will be a fault because I cannot because all of them has a reshove stack, so raising here is somewhat suicidal. Where if I raise here, these 4 guys have a very good stack to reshove me. But if these 2 guys have the bounty that's and gonna change my decision, then yeah, I'll raise here. So it depends on these 4 guys' bounties. And if small blind has the bigger stack he has, the more bounties he need to have for me to raise. Like his stack's slightly bigger, so I would say if he has like 7 buy-ins of bounties, then I'll raise and hopefully call and win. That's the plan. But if he has less than 7 bounties, then no. But if his stack is bigger, say if it's one more big blind, then I probably need 2 more buy-ins or 1 more buy-ins. And it's difficult to run a math like if you change by 1 big blind, then how much buy-ins, how many buy-ins he had to have in order for me to raise, because it depends on future EV a lot. So, but the thing is that if his stack is bigger than the more buy-ins, he should carry for me to risk the stack. So I'll say for this stack like this, I'll say at this stage, I'll say you need the 7 buy-in-ish for me to consider raising here. Even 7 buy-in is not significant. I'll say 10 buy-ins. And I'm not making. Hopefully I'm not making the numbers up, but losing here will change my stack to. It's not all that comfortable stack at all now. Like I have no triple barrel stack, I guess, and I don't have a stack that can check raise and bet 10 bet river anymore if I lose to his shove. So it's somewhat significant. So yeah. By stage, I probably don't worry about that because I'm probably not going to worry about that because not many of them will carry more than 10 buy-ins or bounties. Still quite early, I guess, and this is probably somewhat near in the money, in the bubble, near the bubble. So it's still not significant enough for me to change. I think defending here is fine. Ooh. Yeah, usually I'll defend here. For some reason I'm scared of him. Yeah, usually I'll defend here. I don't like this. I think at this stage, I think everyone should carry at least like 3 buy-ins-ish. So I think I should, if he has more than 3 buy-ins, it's definitely worth to raise call his shove, just to take the bounties. So I don't like to fold. I think this ought like to be a raise unless it's less than 3 buy-ins, which is highly doubtful because at this stage everyone should have somewhat more than 3 buy-ins. Not 3 buy-ins, 2 buy-ins-ish of bounties, and which means they knock out. Depending on the structure, like each person knock out, you get somewhat of each person knock out, you get a portion of their bounties. So it depends on who he had knocked out before. But anyway, if he is, 2 buy-ins, I think it's probably too small. Yes, 3 buy-ins, then I'll definitely raise. But I think even if 2 buy-ins, taking 2 buy-ins is fine too. So I'm actually surprised I fold here. He needs fold to me, I'll definitely raise and take any buy-ins I can have on this guy, which the lower stack he has, the less buy-in requirements for me to raise. So yeah, I'll definitely raise. Fold to me. I'll be definitely raising here and try to take this guy's bounty. I'll raise bigger to ISO in, I suppose. Yeah, so I raised this. I didn't mean raise because I want to play a heads up hunt. Hopefully, I think I can even raise to a 3x and hope big blind will fold. So many people joined. I think shoving here is a better play because if he has anything above a6, he should be shoving pre-flop unless he's trapping with aces and kings or queens. So I just call. I don't like it. I much prefer to shove. I don't like this at all. And I think he'll call with king queen anyway, and I'll lose a large part. But let's be result oriented. The other reason might be he's just a really tight player. Reason being that he didn't shove here, which indicates he's a really tight player. Not really tight, but somewhat tight. And he didn't, somewhat tight. I think majority of player will shove more than 50% or 60% here. But he probably just happened to have stuff like 7 deuce or 3 deuce or whatever. But anyway, I think A6 is better off to shove pre than calling. Even if unless his stats is really tight. If you have like a significant sample size on hand, say if I have 100 hands on him and he's playing a VP for under 10, then I prefer a call. But that's just not very frequent type of player. So I got 3 bets, and I don't know this guy. And this is just a weird, like this is kind of 3 bets people are doing a lot. A lot of times will be a 3 bet bluff. So sometimes I have to take some bluffs here, like if you have stuff like Ace-5 suited, sometimes I'll turn that into bluff by shoving. But not very often of times, because I don't think he's betting bluff too often. After all, I'm raising early position. I don't like the call. I think it's because I have somewhat significant hands on him, and he's not been 3-betting really light at all. Maybe his 3-bet is under 6%, which worries me, but still I prefer to shove pre. But I think calling is fine too. Like, I prefer to shove pre. And this is obviously a shove. Hopefully it's Ace-King or Ace-Queen. And this is just type of play people do a lot, where they're 3-betting really wide range and bets a lot. But it's somewhat exploitable that if I know his 3-betting is wide, then I can check raise really wide. In this case, I have a real hand, but if the flop is, I don't know, 10-6-5, then I can still check raise with Ace-King, because I know usually I am still ahead if his 3-betting range is wide. But here, I think the reason I didn't shove pre is because I'm not sure about his 3-betting range. Like, this sizing is just fishy because it's signal that he's a player that knows about 3-betting. But I probably have the stats on him that his 3-betting range is really tight. Even at button, maybe it's like 6% or 5%. And this somewhat worries me, but otherwise I should shove pre. So finally I defend something. I was surprised I didn't defend if I did suited early. I'll check call once. I'll check call with all my SX. So, and I'll check call some backdoors to widen my check call range and make my call to flop c-bet slightly higher. This is a good card, so I have to shove here and hopefully get value from Ace-King, Ace-Queen. Unfortunately, sometimes I want to better hands, but it's whatever. I think he has Ace-Jack, Ace-10. Like, bigger ace combo much more than he has 2 pairs. So, and I have to protect my hands. There are just too many flushes out there. So I don't like to be calling, and I don't like to see a river where if a river is a king and he shove, I am forced to call. So I think check raise turn will be much better. And pick out hands here and there, and this is no brainer, whatever. Got lucky. And I think at this point, I think it's in the money. But it's still a long way from final 2 tables or final tables. But at this point, everyone's carry, on average, I would say 2 buy-ins of bounties, or 2 to 3 buy-ins of bounties. So I think it's somewhat significant. So if I take, I see a chance I will take it. So if this guy shove, I'm calling stuff like A7 suited, just to take the bounties. So I'll widen up my calling range and raising range slightly. Something. Okay, so this is a raise for sure. I'll be betting here because this is just a difficult flop to check raise with, and I block a queen, which should be a majority of his check raising hands, like queen 10, queen 8 type of hand. So I prefer bets and try to fold out all the other stuff, like king 6, 5, 6, or whatever. I don't like to check. I prefer bets more because I have a queen. If I have stuff like 8-7, then I probably prefer to check and bet 10 depending on what turn shows up. And this is definitely a bluffing turn. Like, I should be betting this turn 100% of the time, regardless of my hand. Because this is a turn that is just difficult for him to check raise with. And yep. So he just doesn't have a lot of check raising bluff here when I bet 10. And he can sometimes check call with stuff like queen 10 or 10-8 type of hand, or like ace 10. But other than all those hands, he's folding ace 5, he's folding ace 6, he's folding all other stuff like 8-5, stuff like that. So betting his turn is pretty cool. And I'll pause the video right here and continue next time.